my second broad this week. Speak slowly, and let's hope you benefit from some of the knowledge that I will try to impart to you. Let's look at our first example over here. We're going to talk about counting losers. Now, when you count losers, you can only count losers once you can see your hand and the dummy. Losers is something you can see when the two hands are conjoined after the first card of the first trick is led. And the point of counting losers is that if you count winners, which we'll look at later on this afternoon, and then you count losers, sometimes you think, oh, I better be careful how I play a certain suit. I wasn't reckoning on a loser in that suit. Now, let's take the first example here. Hearts are trumps, and you've got ace 5-4 opposite a singleton 6. Now, when we count losers, we're very optimistic. First of all, we have no losers in this suit because after one round, we will be able to trump in the north hand. So when we are assessing our hand, we think to ourselves, we don't have a problem in spades. And if we were to have a spade loser, that's of our own doing. There should be no spade losers. In fact, if there are only 3 trumps in the dummy, that would be the first thing that you would do. You would trump the spades in the dummy while you still had trumps in the dummy. Generally, the shorthand. Dummy's the hand with fewer trumps on a general rule. Let's have a look at our second example. This is good. We seem to have frozen. Okay, all right. Now we can look at our second example. This time, we look at this suit. We have just one loser in this suit. Once the ace of spades is gone, we will have 3 winners. We're not allowed to talk about winners at the moment. We're just talking about losers. But in the spade suit, we just have one loser. If hearts are trumps, our priority here would be to draw trumps, force out the ace of spades as early as possible, and then enjoy the spade suit. But we count just one loser. This one we've already had, counted one loser, so we won't deal with that one again. Next, we'll do this one. On this hand, we have 2 losers. That's correct. You have to lose the ace of spades and the king of spades. Now, if hearts were trumps, there could possibly be further losers if the opponents ran out of spades and could trump the 3rd round of spades. But when you count this suit, you should be aware that although you think you've only got 2 losers, do make sure you draw trumps first so that when you force out the ace of spades, when you force out the king of spades and your 10 becomes good, that nobody trumps your 10. The only way you're going to guarantee that is if you have already drawn trumps. Now, what is this first hand all about? West opens with 1 heart and you've got 4 spades to the ace, a singleton heart, 4 diamonds to the ace king, and 4 clubs to the jack. You have a 12 count, and you should want to bid. It would have been nice if I had created an example with 13 points, but this 12 points, nevertheless, is good enough. What messages do you want to convey to your partner? Firstly, you want to tell your partner that you would have been able to open the bidding. You've got 13 plus points yourself. I know you've only got 12, but we'll accept this 12. You like spades, you like diamonds, you like clubs, you certainly don't like hearts. How do you convey this information to your partner? Since you are stuck for any other overcall, you can't say 1 spade, you haven't got a 5-card suit, likewise 2 diamonds, likewise 2 clubs. You can't bid no trumps, but the hand is too good to pass. So you do an informative double. You say double, some people call it the takeout double. And when we do some more broadcasts, I'll tell you my views. I don't like the word takeout double, but it's called takeout double in general usage. The double says, 1, I too have 13 points. I would have made an opening bid. 2, I like the other 3 suits. 3, because I love the other 3 suits, I'm likely to be short in their suit, in hearts. You should not learn it that you have to be short in their suit. The emphasis is not on the shortage in hearts. The emphasis on the fact that you like the other 3 suits and you are stuck for any other legitimate overcall. So you make on this hand an informative double. Now, the informative double comes in 3 shapes. This is the most common one, where you like all 3 suits, or tolerance for 3 suits. You might be 4-4, 3-2. If you've got a 3-card suit, that's tolerance for the unbid suits. What do we mean by tolerance? If your partner bids the suit in which you've got 3, and in which you've got 3, surely partner's longest suit will be 4. You will have more trumps than them, even if you've got a 3-card suit. This is a perfect example of 4-4-4-1. What is the most perfect hand for a takeout double, the informative double, is 5, 4, 4, and a 0 in the opener suit. What about this hand? The bidding goes 1 heart, and you're looking at a rock-crushing 19 honour points and a 6-card spade suit. The hand is far too good to go 1 spade. You certainly can't bid 1 no trump. You can't, even if you're playing strong jump overcalls, you can't bid 2 spades because this hand is even stronger than just 15 to 16. What do? Well, you, to put it frankly, are stuck. Whenever you are stuck for a bid at the bridge table, what comes to mind? The double, the informative double. Now, I said on the last slide, the informative double showed you liked the other 3 suits. Well, there's the second variation of the informative double, where you like 1 suit a hell of a lot, and you've got at least 18, 17, 18 very good points. Here you've got 19, nice strong bid. How will partner know that you're 1 suited and strong? Well, you double to start with, partner will react, then you will subtly introduce your spades. Partner will sit there and say, why didn't partner go 1 spade in the first place? He couldn't have just had a mere 1 spade overcall or a strong 2 spade overcall. He must be super, super strong. He must have a 6-card suit of his own and around 18, 19 Very good, 17 points. That is the second use of the informative double. Now, what do those two informative doubles so far share in common? They share in common the fact that you are stuck for any other bid. And when you are stuck for any other overcall, the informative double is probably the choice that you need to make. Let's look at the third example. What about this one? No, that's the wrong one. Well, I'm sorry to say, if the slide comes up later, I will show you the slide later. I can show you the slide now. Let me add the slide. You can see all the mechanics of running one of these things, one of these broadcasts, as I find the third example, which is informative double 3. Oh, we've done that one, so we want informative double 2. Informative double 2. Okay. Now, this time, the bidding goes 1 heart, and you are north. What should strike you about this hand straight away? It's balanced. It's very, very balanced. So you sit there and say, I think I would like to overcall 1 no trump. Then you look again. You think, if I were to overcall 1 no trump, partner would think I've got 16 to 18 points. And I've got a lot more than 16 to 18 points. I've got 19 points. Again, you are stuck for an overcall. You can't bid 1 spade. You can't bid 2 clubs. You can't bid... Oh, this is good. Good hand, ladies and gentlemen. This hand has got 5 and 4, 9, 9 and 4, 30, 15 cards. I do apologise. Let's take 1 diamond away and 1 club and only have 13 cards. But I will still demonstrate what we're supposed to be talking about. Do forgive me. We will have hitches these first few sessions. So, my wife always tells me I don't proofread things properly. Well, this is a hand that I haven't proofread properly. So, what do you do with a balanced hand and 19 points? You can't go 1 no trump. You can't join in with a 4 card suit. Even though we've got a 5 card suit, it's not satisfactory. When you are stuck for a bid, what do? We revert to the informative double. And on this hand, we would say double. How will partner know whether we like the other 3 suits, whether we've got a powerful suit of our own, or in this example, that we're balanced? Partner won't know which of the 3 examples of the informative double we have until we make our second bid. So initially we will say double, and whatever partner does, we will then bid no trumps. If partner goes 2 clubs, we'll bid 2 no trumps. If partner goes 2 diamonds, we'll bid 2 no trumps. We will bid 2 no trumps, and partner will sit there and say, why the hell, or words to that effect, why the hell didn't partner bid 1 no trump in the first place? Oh, partner can't have 16 to 18 points. He can't have less, because if he had less, he wouldn't be able to bid at all. Oh, he must have more. So you double to start with, and then you bid 1 no trump next. Again, what is common between all these informative doubles? You are stuck for any other legitimate overcall. So the 3 types of hands for making an informative double are as follows. 1, 13 points and a liking for the other 3 suits. 2, a powerful suit of your own, 6 card suit, and around 17, 18, 19 points plus. Or 3, the example in front of us now, 19 plus points and balanced. Too strong for 1 no trump. You say to yourself, why has Harold put this hand up? I wanted to now show you the importance of nines and eights and tens. Everybody is aware of the kings and the queens and the aces and the jacks of the pack, but they don't pay enough attention to the nines, the tens, even the eights. You are in charge of the north-south hand. You could play the two of spades from south, west plays low, and you could try the jack. Now, if you try the jack, the chances of west having both the king and the queen touching honours like that is remote. Less remote is the fact that west could have one honour, the king or the queen, and maybe the 10. So if your opponent on the left does have the 10 and either the king or the queen, suddenly your 9 becomes a big card. Let me explain a bit further. Now, last time we met, I told you to take out a suit of cards. So I'll give you a minute or two to get the cards out and lay them out like so on the screen. So you've got 5, 4, 2 to yourself, ace, jack, 9 in the dummy, queen, 10, 6, 3 on your left, and king, 8, 7 on your right. You play the 2 from your own hand. West plays low. And you will finesse the 9. When you play the 9, how can East beat the 9? With the king. When you regain the lead sometime later, you will play from the south hand. You can't play this spade suit until you're in the south hand and lead up towards the cards you are trying to promote. You would then play the 4, and when West follows suit with the 6, you now try the jack. Bob's your uncle. The jack wins the trick. And you'll make the ace in a minute. You will make 2 tricks, the ace and the jack, as long as you finesse the 9 first time round. That 9 is a big card when West has the queen and the 10. Of course, East could have the 10. As I say, nothing ventured, nothing gained. It is better to have loved and lost, never to have loved at all. Let's look at another example. Now you've got ace, jack, 8 opposite 9. So the 9 and the 8 are equal cards. So what do? We start with the 2. West. I'll give you a chance to just change the cards around. I'm sorry, I'm doing this too quickly. So ace, jack, 8 in the dummy this time. King, 7, 6 on your right. 9, 3, 2 you've got. And queen, 10, 5, 4 on your left. Start with the 2. Next person plays the 4. And when you play the 8, it brings the king. Later on, when you've got the lead back in the south hand, you play the 3. West plays low. When you play the jack, you win the trick. You can only do this if you become aware of the importance of the 9s and the 8s in the pack of cards. What do you think this is all about? The bidding goes 1 spade from south, 2 clubs from west, north bids 2 spades with his 7 count, east competes 3 clubs, south passes, pass, and it's back to you with your hand. Should you bid 3 spades or shouldn't you? That is the question. Now, if you're playing 5-card majors, you know that partner's got 5-card spade suit. If you're playing standard ACO, you can actually work out that partner's probably got a 5-card spade suit, because if he hasn't got 5-card spade suit in a minimum hand, why didn't he open 1 no trump? So he's almost certain that South's got 5 spades. He didn't compete to 3 spades, but he's probably got a 5-card suit. But let's assume we're playing 5-card majors for the sake of this exercise. Should you compete to 3 spades, or should you give up the ghost and let them play 3 clubs? Well, Marty Bergen has brought out this rule: 8, never, 9, ever. Have I got that wrong? Have I got that wrong? Wow. No, I haven't got that wrong at all. Definitely not. I will explain. There is a guideline that says 8 ever, 9 never. That is for finessing when you're looking for the missing queen. If you've got 8 cards, you finesse, and when you've got 9 cards, you play for the drop. Not all the time. Sometimes the bidding might tell you otherwise. But as a general rule, if the bidding hasn't helped you, 8, you finesse for the missing queen, and 9, you play for the drop. You never finesse. So we've now got a rule that's completely upside down. 8, never, 9, ever. What does it mean? What it means is this: when you should compete 1 more round. If you've got a 9-card fit, that's 9 ever, the opposite of the finessing rule, 9 ever, you bid 1 more. You bid every time 1 more. So in this auction, you would bid 3 spades. You would take the push because you know that there's a 9-card fit. 9 ever. On the other hand, if we have this hand, the same auction, 1 spade, 2 clubs, 2 spades, 3 clubs, pass, pass, back to you. Even if partner's got 5 spades and you've got 3, that's 8. With 8, you never bid on, because when you've got 8, the distribution is against you for A, making 9 tricks, and B, if you bid on, you might go too many off and get doubled and lose 200 or 300 depending on the vulnerability. So when you know that there is a 9-card fit, you bid on to the 3 level. When you know there's only an 8-card fit, you give up the ghost and let them play 3 clubs. 8, never, 9, ever, for competing. Nothing to do with finessing. Now, I'm going to give you another tip. When the opponents bid 2 suits and then end up in a 3rd, and you've got strength in their 1st suit, lead a trump. Lead a trump. Let's look at this hand here. South opens 1 spade. You're a bit shocked that South opens one spade when you've got ace, queen, jack, 9. North bids 2 diamonds. South bids 2 hearts. You, of course, pass. North bids 3 hearts, and South goes on to 4 hearts. Your primary suit, your magnificent ace, queen, jack, 9 of spades, has been bid by South. It looks very much like North won't have too many spades, and South will be doing some trumping in the North hand of the spade suit. If you wish to make spade tricks, you've got to stop South using up North's trumps. North's primary suit is not hearts. South's primary suit is not hearts. You need to attack the trump suit if you want to make some of your spades. So the guideline again is they bid 2 suits and end up in a 3rd suit, and you've got strength in one of their suits, and you want to benefit from your strength in one of their suits. Lead a trump. Now, we started the session on counting losers. We're going to finish the session on counting winners. Now, you count winners the same as losers only when the dummy goes down. On this hand, we can count 4 winners, provided we can get back to the North hand. We have an entry later on. We've got 3 spades in the shorthand and the jack of spades in the dummy. We are allowed to count 4 winners. Winners are tricks you can make without doing any work at all, without making a qualification. If this happens, that happens. There are no qualifications. Andrew Robson defines winners as tricks you can make without losing the lead. You can make the ace, king, queen of spades and the jack of spades, no trouble. It's easy peasy work. So you're allowed to count 4 winners here. By the time I've jigged around this picture, how many people have worked out how many winners we've got now? When I ask my students in real life, they say, we've got 2. Even round figure. We have no winners yet. Why don't we have any winners yet? Because we don't have the ace. We can't count any winners until we've dislodged their ace. What we've got are potential of 3 established winners. An established winner is a winner that becomes winner after you forced out their ace, after you forced out their king. So we've got no winners yet. How many winners have you got now? Again, this could be the trump suit. For sure, you've got the ace, the king, and the queen. Will you make the rest? Well, there's a 66% chance, if not higher, that you'll make all 4. What's it dependent on? Oh, I'm starting making qualification. If the jack falls, if the jack falls in 2 rounds, if the jack falls in 3 rounds, if the jack is singleton. As soon as I start saying ifs and buts, we can't count winners. We can only count 3 winners for sure. And once we've gone ace, king, queen, and the jack falls in 3 rounds, then we will have 1 established winner. But initially, we've only got 3 winners. And finally, how many winners do we have now? And when I ask my group, normally they say 3. How many do you think it is? I'll let you put the cards out in front of you, and then let's see how many answers we get. King, Queen, 10, 9, one hand, Ace, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2 in the other hand. How many winners? The answer is 6. We've got Ace, King, Queen, and then we will make all the little ones in the other hand. There are no ifs and buts here. We don't have to make any qualification at all. Listen carefully. How many cards have you got between the 2 hands? 10. Even if there's a 3-0 break, one opponent has the Jack and 2 small cards, the Jack, the 8 and the 7, the Jack, the 8 and the 5, they will all come tumbling down. I don't need to say if or but. Now, this brings out another point about counting winners. If you've got some high cards in one hand and high cards in the other, and one hand is 6, one hand is 3, or one hand is 5, one hand is 4, and you think you can make all the cards, you count all the winners, you count the number of cards in the long hand, the hand with more cards. So in this hand here, we've got a 6-card suit in North, so we can turn around and say we have 6 winners without doing any work. If you've got Ace, King, Queen opposite Jack, 10, 9, you might have the 6 top cards, but they'll all be falling on one another. So you would only have 3 winners. Here, you've got 6 winners. You can't say 10 because the cards will be falling on one another. I hope you've enjoyed this afternoon, and I will let you all know when I'll be doing another session. So this is goodbye from sunny Eilat, where it's very hot here. I do empathise with all the people in London, my hometown, where they're all getting a bit cold, and other parts of Europe. But in sunny Eilat, it's very hot. I'm off to play bridge. Thank you all for listening, and I hope I spoke a little slower today and you absorbed more and you could see all the pictures. Thank you very much.